Alright, welcome back to the Safety Net winners match of Group A. Spawning here in the northern location, we got the man. He's up 1-0 at the moment. It's the Green Protoss State.
Bottom position as the yellow Zerg. It's Catz.
And I would like to publicly apologize to Tempo for calling him Quame on stream.
Oh, he started it.
It was an accident, and I'm sorry.
When did you start?
But okay, so that first game was weird. There's not a lot to assess out of the actual strategy Catz picked off. It was very similar to something we've seen him do in the past on Overgrowth. I think everybody kind of had an idea of how that was going to try to play out. It was actually really cool seeing State shut that down the way he did. The quick reaction to use the map. I mean, I always talk about it. I always nerd about it. It's my favorite players in StarCraft 2 that can use the map to their advantage. And that's 100% what State did. Not taking a moment to think about, like, geez, what sort of SimCity do I build at home? But immediately identifying, like, if I knock down these rocks, I slow the push.
Yeah, I really like that Blink Stalker choice. You know, when we see people take the gold base on Overgrowth, we see, like, I think the most common one is a Stargate opener into like a macro game, and that can be really dangerous. I mean, you're basically saying, like, you know, try and harass you, but then I'm going to basically just give you the gold anyways. And then of course like a 7 gateway, which seems to be, I think, the most effective. I don't know, I haven't been really keeping score, but to actually just use that Blink Stalker like that was cool.
I feel like 7 gates, like, period. Like, full stop. That's where you just need to end this thing. Like, 7 gates effective, stop. Yes, no matter what the situation is, that tends to be the case.
Yeah. But, you know, he could have tried to all in a very old-fashioned way, you know? Like, just like, I got Blink Stalkers, let me just, like, you know, YOLO into your hatchery. Which probably wouldn't have gone well. The Hydras are on their way out, and they're queens, and even a spine crawler, but he went around.
So scouting that was a gateway expansion with that drone. Decides to go 3 hatch before pool. I thought for a moment he might have gone for the hatchery block on the in-base one, which could have been really cool because any sort of spieling attack out here. I mean, look how this is like the 4th base on what was that terrible map, or the 3rd base on Daedalus Point. It's just so exposed. There's no amount of force fields that would stop Lings from killing it. So
yeah.
I thought that might have been the route Catz was taking. Oh hey, route Catz was taking. But no, he just decides to play a little bit greedy back at home.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be able to make that pun. That's good job, Rifkin. I'm proud of myself right now.
Good job, Rifkin. I am also very proud of you. Anywho. So we had that really weird game. That's awesome. That's Catz. That's sometimes PvZ, honestly, with gold bases. But now what do we have? We're gonna have a really long Swarm Host game because it's Van Nuys Research Station.
I don't know. Catz doesn't, like, I've seen him play Swarm Host, but I just feel like that's not the go-to for him.
No, 2-base Swarm Host was his jam in the beginning.
Yes, I would agree, but I'm just saying, like, of recent times, like, I can't see him unless State puts him in a situation where maybe that's the best choice. I kind of see Catz being the guy who still harasses with mutas, gets the roaches where he can, or hell, even goes for a Nidus Swarm. But at the same time, you're right, it's Van Nuys, and we've seen a lot of longer maps played out here, especially with all the bases being taken, and Swarm Hosts have been a big part of that.
I'm just giggling at the way you're supposed to say it. Vanny.
Yeah, though we were fully aware that people have been correcting us, saying it's like Vonnie or Vanny or whatever, but those sound really dumb, guys. Van Nuys sounds cool. Van Nuys sounds fucking cool, and you should be saying it like that too.
Yeah.
We'll make it a thing.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to go. We do have one melee upgrade for Catz.
Well, melee upgrades for Catz isn't so surprising, but I'm actually just curious. Challenger wasn't played on the new maps, right? It's still played on the old maps?
Correct.
Oh, so I wonder, we haven't heard any of the other casters say it yet. I'm really curious, like, to see how they all go about it.
It was played on IAM.
Oh, that's true, that's true. I was thinking WCS.
And I don't remember how they said it.
Neither do I. Because, you know what? In the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
Ignorance is bliss.
Well, that too. Both the same.
We have this, just like, you know, State's opening up PvZ.
Charges, yeah.
Odder fashion. This looks like Blink! Why wouldn't it be?
That's really cool though. Yeah, because Catz is gonna look at this and think, yeah, I'm really glad I'm in for these +1 melee upgrades. The stalkers are gonna get wrecked, but Charge and +1 is weird to see. I don't know where State plans to take this, but if it is Charge Lot Archon, I mean, this is a strategy I haven't seen really be that effective for a long time.
Yeah, I remember what it was, and it looked really, really overpowered.
Actually, I think the coolest iteration of this was watching, I think it was like Huck versus Red or something back like a DreamHack forever ago. It's so hard to pull off Charge Lot Archon because it does require a huge element of surprise. But yeah, Catz with +1 weapons, so be able to tango with Stalkers if any do come out.
I want to just point out that he got +1 melee weapons before speed.
I don't mind that move though, because you're not, you know there's one ramp. There's no necessity to break through this, and having +1 weapons to defend, like, the Stalker poke or something would be pretty beneficial as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the nice thing is,
bad. Just it's uncommon.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I was gonna say the other thing too. Let's not forget how good at taking down buildings lings are as well. +1, so proxy pylons and whatnot, they die pretty quick.
We have Colossus also on the way. I guess, we always talk about Colossus being kind of with Blink Stalkers, and that's really mostly to do with PvT. Because Vikings, come out really quickly, but in the PvZ, the Corruptors really aren't that big of a deal anymore, and it's usually up to Vipers, in which, how much Blink Stalkers really help out, but this harass really good.
I don't know if you'll quite be able to get this. The Lings will contest this really nicely.
Not even targeting it, so.
Zealots will trade out pretty darn well. The +1 weapon upgrades on Zealots is good, but as he's revealed, Hydralisks are out in play. So Ling Hydra can definitely work at dealing with Warp Prism, but...
Dude, Ling Hydra versus Charge Lot Colossus. I just realized how disgusting that sounds for Ling Hydra player.
Yes. Nice little micro. Oh, still dies though.
By the way, Charge is of course revealed here, so if he thought it was Blink, he should know it's... Well, it wasn't, so... I don't know if that's going to change his plan at all.
The problem for Catz right now, though, is he is spending a lot of these, the attention and the lifespan of the Hydrals even on killing the Zealots. He needs to kill that Warp Prism, finally focuses it down, and at the end of the day, he definitely loses a little bit more than what State did for this attack.
Yeah, the Chargers are doing well against the Hydras, too. It's something you usually see this early or in drops, but it is actually really good. Now, I'm really worried because Catz is still dedicating to Ling Hydra, as opposed to like adding in something beefier like roaches, or I don't even know if he's planning on like attack transition, either swarm hosts or those mutas. He's no Spire, so I'm gonna go swarm host, but it's still like this first attack won't be very strong. I think we'll see.
I'm wondering if the plan is, like, we can see the infestation business, probably Vipers. I think we all know that's the best case scenario if you can get to it. Nobody likes going Corruptors, but I wonder if there might be that desperation move where the Vipers start getting picked off too early. I mean, Charge Lot is commonly followed up with Archons, so might be a little bit wary if there are possible Templar Archives or not. I
think it's gonna be Swarm Hosts. Simply because like Ling Hydra usually is as a tech switch build.
Actually, yeah, that might be a good call because he's got the +2 range weapon upgrades following the sub.
Yeah, whereas Roaches... Oh, wait, there's not a Roach Horn, so never mind. I guess this is going to be for the Hive. It's very rarely Ling Hydra Viper. It's almost always Roach Hydra Viper, so... Alright, still going to be for those Vipers. And some Infestors.
The Lynx still won't be too bad to have as an investment on the side, though, because if you're fighting, like, say, by the Watchtower, you have the big army engagement, the Vipers pulling, the Colossus running away, and, like, 12 Lynx run up the left side of the map, even with a cannon down, with +1 weapon upgrades, they're going to chew through probes and take down a pylon or two pretty quickly.
Yeah. For sure. But this is going to be, I mean, he has to wait for the Hive to finish, Roach Speed has to finish, and that's, that's still a lot of time to go. Won't see any action quite yet. Behind this, State's getting these... kind of like late thirds. I feel like we've been seeing the trend being like faster and faster thirds, at least on the older maps, Overgrowth, basically. But instead getting like all of this tech and all these gateways before going for the third almost always makes it look like he's going to be aggressive, and then he isn't. The Warp Prism was aggressive. I think it was just more aggressive because it was so effective than it really might have been in another scenario.
Well, at the moment, it's surprisingly passive. We do, of course, have like the Zealots on the left side. We got some Changelings trying to scout what's really going on, but it kind of makes sense for State to just kind of death ball up at this point. He did a bit of damage. Their house was cool, and he got good eyes on what his opponent has. But for Cat's sake, I mean, he doesn't have a huge bank. He's not exactly a whole base above his opponent. The gold base is, I don't want to say wishful thinking, but it is really exposed and off to the side, opposed to taking a base over here.
Yeah. Well, if he's hoping that a War Prism won't be remade, then that's a good move, but I believe it was. Yeah, it was. So that's going to be a target for sure. I don't know about an easy target, but definitely a target. The creep spread is looking pretty good. It is going to be cleaned up now from States. He doesn't have, like, Stalkers, which is so odd to see in his composition, but that doesn't matter. Like, there's not Corruptors that's dealing with it. You just want High Templars with the Vipers, and you don't need Blink Stalkers. Like, Charge Lots, they can be really, really good. Cool hallucinations as well.
Yeah, I feel like we don't see enough hallucinations. I really would love to see more. Is they can provide just this really annoying wall. I think one of the coolest things we saw was Crank, if you remember, like going crazy Archons, granted in PvP, but just like the physical amount of space they take up blocks units out. Even if you, especially if you're detected, units will know not to attack them, so you just see Hydras stuck against what is these almost force fields.
Fungals are going to be fantastic. Oh, they are fantastic.
Oh, and Blinding Glance to boot. Now, it doesn't stop much of the army from attacking, but the Zealots can't get forward. Now that they're released, though...
into the army.
Does focus down 2 of them. Will that third one fall? There's so many charge lots, though.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's taking out most of the Colossus, so what this does mean is a Roach Remax can deal with reinforcements, but he's got to make sure these sentries get nowhere close to the ramp. If he starts forcing it off the ramp like this, Catz is going to have no hope to save this third. And any units that come from the third are, well, destined to die. Drones are going to get pulled away and into the fire, but on top of the Colossus, go drones, go, hype! Actually taking it down pretty quick.
Yeah, that
Oh
really
my god, are you
around.
serious?
Oh, go drones, go!
Go drones, go! Beast mode, beast mode!
Oh, yeah, exactly.
It's like the Seahawks moment. The Viper wants to get involved, obviously, but it can't, so... one abduct, yoink! Breaks the stone. No, it doesn't quite break the force field.
What's even bothering your brooches anyway? What are you up for?
He picks it up and doesn't work for himself. He's like, no, this is mine. You're not touching it. This is really bad for Catz at this point. This is starting to snowball pretty quickly. It does. Oh, almost gets the control out of state right now. Full jerk mode enabled. More Zealots coming in, but I think this has... Catz, he's got the gold-based mining, so his economy still works through this. You look at actual income, it's the same as States, but it's not like he's matching production. He's got a lot of money in the bank, and he can't spend the larva fast enough, effectively enough, because it's all going into just roaches.
And I feel like if he had taken on the Warp Prism as opposed to pulling like a Colossus or something, he would probably be in a better position.
It's really hard to assess that, though, because you look at an army like this, and your Zerg brain has fought 1,000 of these battles, and you go, it's the Colossus that's the problem. But you're right, like the warpins of these Zealots has been relentless, has been ridiculous. It's been snowballing, and Catz is losing everything here in the winners match. He's already down 1 of the series, and it looks like States, yep, he's going to clean it up with a 2-0. And we will have States be the first player from this group to make it into the round of 8. Looking good, too. The last few times we've seen State, honestly,